Philadelphia Eagles, New York Giants, Dallas Cowboys, and what are they called? What's their name
No
now?
one
Like,
knows.
They may have to
no,
change it again. I don't know.
I
Yeah.
that's what I'm hearing. Like, let's just
They're
call
just
them
Washington,
the team from up there. I don't know. Like, but yeah,
Oh,
Washington.
Jamie.
Um, that it's so fitting for him to have that team. It's so fitting. Brosig, I think it's important that you and I go first. So they can, talk amongst themselves. I'm not hugely invested in this, certain division. I just really like the Giants a lot. Like a lot, a lot. All right, and then it's really has to do with Brian um
Dayball.
Dayball.
Dable. Dabble.
Dabble.
You should
It's
figure that one
Dayball.
out.
It's
Send him
Dayball.
an email after this and just ask him.
I'm pretty sure when I looked it up when I did the script did the script for the Giants, it was Dayball.
I think it's Dayball.
But I can't remember anymore. And it's him, right? He's the guy that I'm trusting. He's the guy that when he was in Buffalo, that's when I saw no Josh Allen was someone I guess I had more respect for. Um, I've never thought that Daniel Jones didn't have what it took to be successful. Like he has all the tools. He has the arm, he has the size, he has the athleticism. Could he just get somebody to take that out of him? And he had, didn't he have like y'all's coach? Who was that? Well, y'all's former coach.
Oh, Jason
Jer-
Garrett.
Jason Garrett was one of like I don't know if he's had the best talent of coaches around him. So I and then Saquon just keeps it together. And who did they draft? They drafted some guys. Deontay Banks out of Maryland, a guy that most of us liked.
Schmitz.
John Michael Schmitz, really good. He was the number one center. And then my favorite guy was Jalen Hyatt, just a burner, just a burner off the line, someone that can definitely match the arm of Danny Dimes. And then if anything happens to Saquon, I'm not mad if Eric Gray's the guy that they kind of rely on a little bit more. And so I think they did a lot of great things. And then if the Eagles figure it out, they're good. And then the Cowboys as well. I think the Cowboys. It's an important year because how many more years does Dak have on his
I
contract?
think two more.
Two more.
Think
But
so.
Because I just saw
I
something
think
about
after
contract.
this year we could get out of it potentially, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Um, I think this is, Daniel Jeremiah said it, and I guess I saw it coming before he had said it, but this is CD. This is the year, dude. This year he just turns the
I
up,
mean,
dude.
last year he definitely proved me wrong. I mean, he's
Yeah,
still I still think he has his moments to where he's maybe not mentally there, but physically he's really good. If that makes sense.
yeah, and,
You
and
can
I
tell he's
think
young. That's probably the best way to
definitely,
put it. Yeah.
definitely, and I just think he kind of gets it, and I think the Brandon Cooks edition
Yeah.
is so powerful. Wherever he goes, he kind of just is a 1,000 yard magnet if the quarterback can get him the ball consistently. Um, Not gonna lie, I am afraid of Tony Pollard full time because I like the combination of sugar and spice with him and Zeke. But if he's the full time guy, I don't know how I feel about it. Like I just don't know. And so but I think the defense is going to be locked in. I really like the Cowboys. I would say just given history, I would be banking on the Cowboys or the Giants to win the division for sure. One of those two. It won't be the Eagles just because of history. So, Brosig, what do you have? What do you got for the NFC East?
The biggest question for me going into the NFC East is Nick Sirianni a fraud or is he him? That's gonna be the biggest question going into this. You lose your defensive coordinator, you lose your offensive coordinator, but you have arguably the best team in the NFL. So if he can't get it done, then I think there are going to be a lot of really, really pissed Philly fans coming for his head and wondering, okay, was it just all puppet master type stuff and everyone else was really doing all the coaching and getting the team where it needed to be? Or is Nick Sirianni going to come out and actually lead this team back to the Super Bowl? With this roster, I have to pick them to win this division because they are so damn good at every level, offensive line, defensive line, skill players, quarterback, secondary. It's just all there. The thing that doesn't help the rest of this conference is that I think Washington got better. Like they didn't get
I like
substantially
them.
worse. They go get Eric Bieniemy, who I think is just out to prove everyone wrong that he can play call and lead a team, lead an offense without Andy Reid behind him. Sam Howell, if he can somewhat figure this out, but I think the big key pieces are those skill players on the offensive side. I think Eric Bieniemy is going to get the most out of Jahan Dotson, who was a touchdown machine last year. Scary Terry is always one of the most underrated receivers. And then I want to see how Antonio Gibson and Brian Robinson are utilized in this Eric Bieniemy offense. They're going to be way more involved in the pass catching, part of it, which I think is going to take it to a different level. Defense definitely needs some work. D line's all right. They go get Emmanuel Forbes out of Mississippi State, who I think will pair well with Fuller on the other side. But it's just going to be a really, really, really tough division to go and play anywhere. The great thing about people playing the Jets was that they always knew it was an easy dub, and I think people thought that was going to be Washington. They're going to be one of those sneaky teams who catches you in a trap game, just like when Heineke would come out and
Yeah.
somehow throw it for like 300 yards, something like that. But I'm still going to go with the Eagles until I see what Nick Sirianni is made of.
All right. I'll let you guys fight for it. Who wants to go first?
Go for it, Heck.
All right. Yeah, I think there should be no doubt in anyone's mind across the globe that the Dallas Cowboys will be the NFC East champions at the end of the 2023-2024 season.
Let's do it.
Because what?
Let's do it. I like it.
I think of all the teams that improved, Dallas improved the most where they needed to. Like just starting on the defensive side where we're already super, super strong. We went and got Stephon Gilmore to help solidify our secondary. Obviously, Diggs is continuing to get better. Wilson has really exploded and looked dominant. You have Clark at linebacker who has looked really, really good and going into his second year, I think, right? So, like just improved young talent plus Stephon Gilmore as a veteran to help just like lock down on the defense. Again, Micah Parsons, just nothing really need to be said there. Vander Esch, who is always like I've always said, he is a very, very, very good linebacker, and he's proven it. The problem is he was always hurt.
Mhm.
We finally got to see a season where injuries weren't really an issue, and he was great. And so, hopefully he can continue that streak. We got DeMarcus Lawrence, obviously, but then Mozzie Smith will be huge just because we are such a poor run defense. And so I think at the very least, he plugs up holes. And then really, ideally, he's so athletic. He's super strong and can even get push. So like all we need him for is to block up lanes, but I think he can do significantly more than that. And so I think it only helps an already super, super strong defense. And then on the offensive side, we get Brandon Cooks, Tony Pollard, who averaged over 5 yards a carry. We'll see what happens to that when he's the every down back. But like we still liked Malik Davis. We got Ronald Jones, and I love the Deuce Vaughn pickup. Like I think he'll be used a lot more than what people might think. But
Ronald Jones or Deuce Vaughn? Sorry.
Deuce Vaughn.
Okay.
And then I think Jalen Tolbert coming into a second year, obviously he really had no impact on the team last year, but I've just seen a lot that he's doing well. And then again, Tyler Smith on the line. When we drafted him, I was not a believer in that draft pick. I thought it was a horrible pickup, and he's proven me wrong. I think he's proven almost everybody wrong who had comments about him in the draft. So like continuing that strength, like he was already so good when we thought he wouldn't be. And so I don't really see him taking a step back. I see that continuing. So I just think the Cowboys really, really, really addressed. Oh, and then they drafted Shoemaker as well. And so I think the Cowboys perfectly addressed all of their holes this offseason. And so given that, I just think they're going to take a step up. Eagles, I think, are taking a step down. No repeat winner. I do think the Giants will be competitive in Washington, but should be the Cowboys.
Alex?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna agree pretty much with Hack. I don't agree with the Giants take. I don't believe in them at all. I think that team just lacks a lot of weapons. around Daniel Jones, and we've beat. I mean, last year the Giants went 0-5 against the Cowboys and Eagles. They just, to me, it's hard to imagine a team banking on a team that's probably going to go third in the division to make the playoffs. And so I think they regress this year, and I think they win like 8 games. So I think it's going to be 50-50 coin flip between the Cowboys and the Eagles. I mean, Hack pretty much said it. Having one of the best defenses in the league, you add Stephon Gilmore, who can take a little bit away from, Diggs and kind of, alleviate pressure. And then same kind of thing on the receiving side, right? CeeDee Lamb was the only player to do anything on the offense. You had Cooks over there. Helps Dak's job a lot. Dak was also hurt last year. I don't think a lot of people talk about that. Like, this guy was injured through the second half of the season. I said it, like, he wanted to prove himself and he didn't have to do that. But let's be reminded of what he did against the Buccaneers only one game before what happened against the 49ers. So Dak isn't top, 8 quarterback. He's going to be sitting in between 9 to 15, and he has to acknowledge that and allow the other players to carry him or to, kind of take the load off of him. And so I think, the Eagles and the Cowboys are going to be in the Super Bowl talk as long as they live up to what their rosters are. So,
and you mentioned this before, I think, Alex, with Michael Gallup. Obviously, going into the season, we were pretty hype on him. It didn't pan out. But going back to that wide receiver 3 spot where he did shine before last season, I think gives him an opportunity to maybe shine again when not as many eyes are on him.
Yeah. Do y'all think the Bills hopped us for Kincaid?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would really love Kincaid right now.
I think so.
Yeah, I think he would fit very well because he would have just been an all-around weapon on our offense.
Yeah.
Where we needed somebody like that.
I mean, the question was, did the Bills hop over y'all to get Dalton Kincaid? Yes, but I still think y'all would have gone Mozzie Smith.
Yeah, it's not a foregone. I agree. It's not a foregone conclusion we would have got him, but
yeah, I just think having Kincaid right now would just be like way more beautiful than Mozzie. Even though I do agree that the defensive tackle was more necessary than tight end.
But. And I feel like that's kind of what y'all do, unless it is like a CeeDee Lamb situation, too good to pass up on. But I don't know if Kincaid, because he still has back concerns.
Yeah,
like that's.
I think Shoemaker
backs are hard too.
Shoemaker brings more of like a blocking ability. I think is kind of what we wanted. And, like he fits our scheme a little bit better because at the end of the day, we need to be running the football 30 times a game, 25 times. I would have liked to get maybe another running back. We'll see how some of these guys pan out. I kind of agree with Miles. Like, maybe we're like in the Dalvin Cook conversation, who I'm low on, but at the same time, like, if he can bring us 10 to 15 carries a game, I don't hate that.
Yeah.
So
go get Derrick Henry.
Yeah, Derrick Henry would have been nice.
Yeah, and then Kincaid, like, he could block, but it's like that's not what you draft him to do.
Right.
Yeah. It didn't. But so that's the NFC East.